Yun ni presiding officer nung umpisa pa lang noong July 16 was 6 rather was a calculated move on his part to really set the threshold and iset na 16 yung number of ultimate vote on the acquittal or conviction of the respondent. So hindi na yan marirevisit unless some person goes up to the Supreme Court and alleges grave abuse of discretion resulting to lack or excess of jurisdiction. So as of the moment, walang nangyayaring ganon. So that is already set in stone for the meantime that it is not overturned by the Supreme Court. Now, if a person or a party or a side, a council proposes that, that is a dangerous a proposal because it will necessarily entail the impeachment court to change the rules of the game mid trial. At sa ating due process clauses, hindi po pinapayagan yan. Hindi po tayong parang naglalaro lang dito na kung para sa convenience ng mga parties, iibahin mo na naman yung rules mid-trial. Hindi po umaakto ang impeachment court for the convenience of either the prosecution or the defense. It is acting to uphold the due process requirements under the law at yung 16 po yan, no, nakabase po yan sa Bayan versus Zamora na nagsasabi doon na mahirap talaga ang makuha ang 16 but the framers of the Constitution ensured that mahirap talaga dapat makapag-impeach ng isang impeachable officer because the impeachment court will necessarily cancel the mandate of the people who elected the impeachable officer. That's why it is made extra hard. Kaya 2/3 yan, hindi po simple majority. It was the intention of the framers of the Constitution to make it hard for the impeachment to happen. So, hindi po yan nakabase sa comfort ng tao. So, as to that proposal, wala pong dapat maiba doon sa ruling ng presiding officer na 16 po dahil wala naman pong nagsasampa pa ng kaso at wala pang desisyon yung Korte Suprema if ever masampang kaso na yon. So,
okay.
Bali wala po yun.
Okay, at yun doon naman sa attendance, kasi napapansin na rin na may mga senator judges, hindi na nakakabuo, actually, hindi na kukumpleto yung mga 20, dapat kasi 21 sila dahil tatlo yung wala. You have Senator Bato Way, hindi makita, 2 nakakulong, so dapat 21 sila dyan. And napansin na rin, it has not gone unnoticed na marami, na hindi sila nakakabuo yung 21 na yon for the past so many trial days. So, yung iba, nakikita pa on social media na nagbo-monitor na lang outside the session hall. So, is that legally acceptable? Are they allowed to participate even from outside the session hall?
Yes, it is legally acceptable. Kung maaalala ninyo, meron tayong Senate Rules on Impeachment, Rule 6. Nakalagay po sa Rule 6 na suppletorily applicable ang rules ng Senado. Sa Senate Rules naman po, may nakalagay dyan na doon sa rule, basta rule sa Senate, no, na merong supplementary application naman yung Rules of Parliament, na Riddick's Rules at saka Hines President. Doon sa mga rules na yon na sinabi ng Senate Rules, nag-a-apply dyan yung tinatawag na constructive o continuing quorum, na kapag ang isang legislative person, senator or congressman, ay nakapag-enter na ng kaniyang presence sa plenary, kahit lumabas siya dyan, continuing pa rin yung quorum because of the fact na hindi kinakailangan na parating nandun sila. Basta nandoon sila within the control of the Senate President na anytime pwede silang ipatawag ulit kapag kailangan na ng botohan sa plenary, continuing pa rin yung quorum unless questioned by any one of the members. So alam ng ating mga nasa legislatura yung continuing quorum rule na yan. At sa ating mga ordinaryong tao, baka medyo first time natin naririnig yon. However, in legislative practice, that is considered legal because the Senate President has control over the antechambers and all the rooms in the Senate, at yung Senator's Lounge, yun naman ay nakatabi lamang sa plenary. So it is within parang pag pumunta sila doon, continuing pa rin yung presence nila on the floor. Walang na babawas. And as you have seen naman, no, yung mga senator judges na yon, di na tayo magba-blind item kasi alam naman natin na si Senator Padilla yon, Senator Villar, at saka si Senator Bongo. They didn't really take a break from their duty as a senator judge. In fact, suot pa nga nila yung mga robes nila. So that only means that while still on a short break, they are still performing as a senator judge, at nakanood naman sila, nakita naman, may TV doon, nandoon pa yung photo ni Attorney Ligutan. So they are still monitoring it, and that is allowed in parliamentary practice, customs, and rules.
Okay, thank you po, Attorney. I'll turn over to Nimpa.
Attorney, sorry habang wala si Attorney, si Mayan po ulit to. So, pwede silang, paano ba, magpa-present muna sila sa umpisa.
Yes.
Tapos, kahit saan sa loob ng Senate, kaya sa office nila, pwede na
Tama
silang
ka.
perform. Pero
Tama ka.
hindi sa labas ng Senate.
Tama ka. Basta within the within the jurisdiction ng Senate President. So under Rule 3 Section 3E ng Senate Rules, no, nandiyan yung sinasabing antechamber and rooms adjacent to the plenary hall. So yun ay within the scope of the control ng ating Senate President. So anytime pwede niyang patawag yung mga tao na yon. So they are still continuing, their presence is still continuing considered in the plenary. Kahit na nandun sila sa katabi lang na room.
Oo, okay. Sorry, sino nang next, guys? Teka.
Ako na?
Yun, sorry po. Okay po, go ahead.
Ako na? Sally.
Ay, sige pa, ate. Go lang.
Okay. Sir, attorney, gusto ko lang malaman, meron na
Ay po.
bang reaction si Presiding Officer Chis Escudero doon sa lumabas na report na sinisimula na daw ligawan ni Senator Chis Escudero, Senator Jinggoy, magkapatid na Villar, Senator Loren Legarda to convict VP Sara?
That is totally untrue po, no? I asked the presiding officer, natawa lang siya. Sabi niya, talaga lang, tinatanong mo pa yan sa akin. So that is completely untrue po na wala pong ganong mga moves on his part. He is busy and his time is taken up by reading and studying the case, both the witness testimony, the number of documents, at saka yung mga resolutions na kailangan niyang ilabas. In a way po nga, parang marami siyang kailangan pang ilabas na resolution dahil sa mga na-cancel na trial date. So, mas busy po siya gawin yon kesa po mamuliti ka regarding that. At saka matagal-tagal pa po, as sinasabi po natin, no? If you consider the yung ano na yun, no, kung totoo, the practicality of it, it's too early for you to actually do that. Dahil sabi ko nga 31 days pa to itong Article 1. Susunod dito, meron pa tayong Article 3, tas meron pang Article 2. So that will entail mga 90 more days, if sorry, not 90, mga 50 more days, no? Tapos magpepresenta pa yung defense bago sila magbotohan. So it's still too early, and at the same time, yung case of the prosecution, kalahati pa lang rin sila dito sa article na to, no? Sa Article 1. So medyo preposterous yung ganong insinuation by parties.
So, anong tingin doon ni Senator Chis Escudero? May plano na i-discredit? Ano yung nakikita niya na intention ng ganong balita? I-discredit yung maganda niyang paghawak sa impeachment trial?
Actually, he didn't describe anything to me kung anong tingin niya doon. Parang, nung tinanong ko lang siya, parang ang ano niya lang, bakit mo pa ako tinatanong? Parang alam mo naman na wala namang ganyan. Alam mo naman na hindi totoo yan. So, yun lang. Parang so preposterous for me to even raise it up to him. So, I think ganun din yung iniisip niya na parang it's so preposterous na may ganung issue na logically, practically, hindi siya feasible for the meantime or hindi gagawin ng isang matinong politician to do it this early on.
Pero pwede yung gawin kapag patapos na, sir. O hindi rin.
Hindi rin. I don't think hindi ganun si Senator Escudero eh. Parang as you know, no, kahit na before, laging ini-issue sa kanya yan yung regarding the Senate presidency, ganyan din yung pinalabas na issue. So lumang tugtugin na po yan eh, if you consider it. And any person pwedeng anuman, basta i-allege mo lang parang yan na yan. At yung person na sinasabihan ng ganon, siya ngayon yung nabibigyan ng burden of proof na patunayan yung kanyang innocence on the matter. Even wala namang ebidensya, no? At wala siyang kailangan gawin. However, in a court of law, which is logical, ito po dapat sinusunod natin noon sa ating mga araw-araw na paniniwala sa mga lumalabas po na news. Kung sino po nag-allege, siya ang kailangan magpatunay at yung kailangan mag-defend sa sarili niya, yung accused o yung respondent, walang kailangan gawin. Kung hindi ma-prove yung allegation, he or she can sit pretty there without doing anything because of the presumption of innocence. So lagi po natin kailangan isipin yun na dapat ganon yung mas logical na pag-iisip kesa yung sa kabila na maniniwala kagad tayo sa allegations.
Ang problema, parang dating, sir, blind item, walang source.
Yes, tama ka po dyan. No? Mahilig po tayo sa gano'n eh. Kaya yung mga ganyan, binabrush aside na lang po ng mga senators natin kasi alam naman nila kung ano yung totoo.
Last na lang on my part. So on Monday, sir, kung meron ng impeachment trial, ilalabas na ni Presiding Officer Escudero yung pong ruling at warning sa both parties kaugnay ng kanilang mga naging public statement at saka pinopost sa social media.
Tama po kayo, Ma'am Selly. Pero bago po niya basahin at ilabas po yung ruling na yon, kailangan niya po munang marinig si Attorney Amado Ligutan. Bibigyan po ng oras si Attorney Ligutan to respond to the manifestation and accusation of the lead counsel, Attorney Sison. At pagkatapos po nun, baka kung may kailangan ibahin sa ruling niya, base dun sa sinabi ni Attorney Ligutan, baka magkaroon ng konting break para maiba lang po yung draft niya. At kung wala naman po yung ine-expect ni presiding officer na sasabihin ni Attorney Ligutan, ay yun din yung naisip niya na sasabihin ni Attorney Ligutan, yung ruling niya, babasahin niya na po kagad without any more taking a short break.
Okay, thank you, attorney. Salamat po.
Thank you po, Ma'am Selly.
Attorney, papasok po si Ate Nims. Andyan na po ikaw.
Present.
Hi.
Opo. Attorney, tungkol dun sa bank and other financial documents that were submitted by the banks, AMLAC and BIR, kailan po yun ipapa-access sa lawyers ng prosecution and
Opo, meron na pong si Attorney Bantug, no, yung ating clerk of court, tsaka si presiding officer, they have already almost completed the inventory at saka po yung pag-examine ng mga, lalo pa yung mga for in-camera examination ni presiding officer, yung mga anti-money laundering council reports po. At magre-release po either in the next week po or the week after that ng ruling po regarding that para po mabigyan na po ng access yung parties kung nakapasa na po doon sa in-camera inspection na yun.
Okay. Yung pong BIR and bank documents ay, tama ba, certainly, mapapabigyan ng copy or ipapa-access yun sa both panels. Pero yung sa AMLAC ay depende pa.
Yes po, opo. Depende po dun sa last na ruling, yung ruling dun sa in-camera kasi kailangan suriin po ni presiding officer isa-isa yung mga reports na yon. Tapos tinanong niya na rin yung representative ng Anti-Money Laundering Council if there are mga madidisclose ba yung procedure, yung process, kung paano nila nakuha yung mga information na yon, how they were able to investigate these matters. At kung wala naman pong madidisclose doon sa papel na report po na yon, ipapayagan na po yung both parties to access it. Yun lang po naman yung concern ng presiding officer, kaya siya nag-in camera para po hindi makakuha ng ideya yung mga ibang tao na may mga ginagawang masama kung paano ginagawa ng Anti-Money Laundering Council yung pag-iimbestiga sa ating mga bank records para malaman nila kung ano dun yung sakop ng laundering.
Okay. And then, dun po sa access naman, tama ba? Hindi naman siya rush kasi dulo pa siya, fourth pa siya na
You're correct. You're for Article 2 po. So, katulad nung timeline natin kanina, it will be at the end of the trial po. So, if we consider it, baka yung Article 2 na yon mag-umpisa na po ng Nobyembre o Desyembre. No?
Yun lang po sa end ko, attorney. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Nympha.
Attorney, si Dexter po. Dex, andiyan ka?
Good morning.
Good morning, Dex. Sorry, hindi kita nasagot
Oo
kahapon.
nga. Oo. Attorney, balikan ko lang yung issue doon sa mga statement ng prosecution. Paano tinitake ng isang korte, isang impeachment court ito, na yung mga counsel ay tila pinagsasabihan or pinupuna ang naging galaw o anumang ginawa ng mga senator judge sa isang trial?
Dexter, unang-una, hindi ko alam ano yung pinapatunguhan mong statement kasi maraming statements sila, no? Araw-araw yata, nagpe-press briefing
Kaugnay
sila,
po
no? So,
ito-
hindi ko alam yung specific na statement na yun, no?
Kaugnay ito doon sa pagpuna nila na dapat daw ang isang senator judge, dahil nasa konstitusyon, kailangang dumalo personally doon sa trial at hindi yung nagmo-monitor lang doon sa isang sulok outside the courtroom. Dahil kailangan nilang makita kung paano daw sumagot ang isang testigo, makikita nila yung kanyang mga facial expressions at hindi yung nandun lang na nakamonitor online. Paano po ito tinitake ng impeachment court? Yung mga ganitong pahayag ng counsel outside the court mismo.
Of course, yung impeachment court will consider that matter, no? Dahil may nagmo-monitor naman ang ating branch clerk of court, tsaka yung mga staff po, minomonitor naman yung mga pahayag na yan. At I'm sure kasama yan sa mga papaalalahanan na dun sa ruling ni presiding officer, yung proper decorum ng bawat litigant, pati po ng counsels, when it comes to dealing with the court. Kasi alam naman po ng lahat ng abogado at na yung meron kaming tinatawag na Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability at na dapat hindi kami nagsasabi ng anything that will degrade the credibility and the integrity of the court because our overall duty is for justice to be done and for us to strengthen the workings of the court so that the people, kasi officers of the court kami, so that the people will have faith in the justice system, which is kasama dito yung impeachment court. So any matter na nakakasira, any public speech nakakasira doon sa notion na yon na fair, na ginagawa ng korte yung kanyang gawain at ito ay credible at may integrity, ito po ay nakikita sa paglabag na doon sa aming Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability. So it will be considered by the impeachment court and the presiding officer in his ruling, I'm sure, And at the same time po, no, kailangan rin pong lahat tayo maging maingat sa sinasabi po natin. Kasi po, yung alam naman natin yung ating mga House Prosecutor Panel, sila rin po ay part of the legislative. At kung siguro maaalala nila, ginagawa rin naman po nila yan sa Kongreso na after nila magpa-enter ng attendance doon sa plenary, ay lalabas naman po sila. Meron din po silang Congressman's Lounge doon at doon sila makikipabalik-taktakan sa kanilang mga kasamahang congressman at magsasnack din po at kakain din po. So ganun din po ang Senado dahil nga po doon sa sinabi kong rule on Redix at saka Heinz President na pinapayagan po yung continuing quorum basta po yung ating mga legislative persons ay nasa vicinity ng Kongreso o ng Senado within the power of either the Speaker or the Senate President or the presiding officer to be called anytime that there needs to be persons in the plenary.
Okay guys, yun lang ang video natin for today. At don't forget to follow, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. At marami pong salamat sa inyong lahat. God bless everyone. I love you all. Bye-bye.